Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear learners. I hope you are doing great. Let's offer our prayer. Allahumma inni as'aluka ilman nafi'an wa rizqan tayyiban wa amalan mutakabbala. Ameen. Dear children, lesson number 46 of phase 2 is about Let's Go to Paris. We are going to focus reading and comprehension skills, and today is 25th of August. Today is Tuesday. We'll complete our reading first of all, and later on we'll complete our comprehension. Let's get started with your book and your notebook with your pencil. So today we will be first of all focusing page number 12 and 13 recap. Okay, we'll revise whatever we did in our previous lesson, and we'll start our next page, that is page number 14. We'll learn facts about Paris. So, dear students, this is basically a tourist brochure. It has headings and all the information that the key points or the key facts, they are arranged in the form of paragraphs, and they tell us what are the exciting things to do when we are in the city of Paris, how we can get to Paris, and what means of transportations are available to us, what means of transportations are to travel inside the city. So let's start. We will begin first of all the recap from page number 12 to 13. On page number 12, we learned that Paris is the biggest and the capital city of France. And we learned that in French language, it is called La Belle Paris, which means beautiful Paris. And what is the purpose of giving this brochure? The purpose of brochure is to help tourists find the main tourist sites without any difficulty, without any trouble. Those who want to travel in the city, what exciting places are there and how they can reach those places and how they can enjoy in this city. So one of the place was Etoile. Etoile means star, okay, and this was basically the atoll and the Arc de Triomphe. It is almost making a star shape, and all the roads that are linked to it, they look as if they are pointing towards the middle, where we have a great arch, and this arch is called Arc de Triomphe in French language, and it was built to remember the soldiers who died at a war. The next we learned about one of the towers, yes, the Eiffel Tower or La Tour Eiffel. This is basically one of the very famous towers in the world, and it is tall, so tall that you can see endless views across every quarter, every part of city, and this is the most beautiful place to visit. Next we learned about Notre Dame Cathedral. We learned that it's a huge church, and in French the word Notre Dame means Our Lady. And this church is built for Christian people. They go over there, they offer prayer or they worship, and it was built almost 900 years ago, and it is one of the oldest buildings in the city. And dear students, you also learned many features of this cathedral. One of the feature was that there are 10 bells inside it, and each one of them is having a different name and different sound. The biggest bell is called Emmanuel, and it is almost double the size of the next bell, and this bell is 350 years old. And we also learned that why do they have these bells? Because they ring the bells and a tune is played, and that when people listen to the tune, they understand that it is the time to come to church for prayer. And then we also learned the same church, the same cathedral, Notre Dame Cathedral, has got some stone monsters on it. On the towers there are some stone monsters, and when people they look at those stone monsters, it seems as if the stone monsters are looking out over the city, and they are so, they are so much high that they can see everything in the city. Okay, and then we learn that this old cathedral was built near the river Seine, and in old time people used to drink water from river, and they used to use it for washing purposes, but and they also used to travel along the Seine. Okay, and this river in old time was a protection. Whenever somebody attacked the city, this was to keep the people safe inside, and it protected them from their enemies. But nowadays, nobody drinks water from this river because the water has become too dirty to drink. But still, the tourists, those who visit this place for fun activity, they enjoy traveling on boats along the river. One of the features of this cathedral was this round window. Okay, all these windows, they are called rose windows. And if you look it from the outside, how do they look from outside? They look very dull, as if they have got no colors in them. But then what happens once the people that go inside the cathedral, and it is the sunlight, the daytime, when the sun lights them, when the light of sun falls on these windows, it makes them bright, and then these windows they show hundreds of brilliant colors. As you can see the view now, this is the view from inside of the cathedral. Now let's move on to page number 14 for its reading and comprehension.
The Louvre. The Louvre is one of the biggest and most important museums in the world. It has many antique works of art. Some of them are more than 5,000 years old, and each one is worth a lot of money. This is a unique painting in the Louvre. It was painted by Jan Vermeer more than 350 years ago. But some say that the painting is timeless. It shows a girl quietly making lace. It may be old, but she looks so real, you can almost touch her. Paris and fashion. Paris is in a league of its own when it comes to fashion. Young women usually wear very elegant clothes. As the weather is warm in spring and summer, people often walk slowly to the Étoile and show off their chic clothes.
Graceful and attractive. These words are used for elegant.
Paris and food. French cuisine is even more famous than its fashion. French people often go out to eat in cafes and restaurants. They show great respect to the chef who cooks the food. How to say English words that come from French. Lots of English words come from French. Many of them are about food. Here are some. Antique, very old. Brochure, a leaflet. Cafe, a place where you can eat a snack. Chef, a cook. Chic, very smart. Cuisine, fine food. Restaurant, a place where you can eat a meal. League, a group of people. Unique, one of a kind.
here the page ends, and with this this lesson also ends. And already these words were given to you in vocabulary, and I hope you must have learned them. Those students who have not learned the meanings of these words, kindly learn them now. Okay, so let's move on to our home task. Today's home task is that you are going to rewatch the video again, and you are going to practice reading of the text that is given on page number 12, 13 and 14 to improve your reading. And you are going to do activity number 1 and 2 given on page number 15 in the book, and activity number 3 given on the same page 15 in your neat notebook. And you will share your homework with your associate teacher for guidance and grading. Let's see what are these two activities. Activity number 1 is that you're going to choose the correct word from here. This is related to the text. And activity number 2 is that you are going to complete the sentences. And here it is written use notebook. But students, I want you to do it on your book, because here you just have to add 1 or 2 words, and the answers are not very lengthy one. Okay, so you will do the activity on your book, right? In your book you are going to do it, not in your notebook. So if you ask answers, then I will share the answers of these two activities with you separately, so you don't need to send the image of this work to your teacher. But the answers of these questions, you do them in the notebook. Okay, and these questions, they must get checked by your teacher, right? So what language do people speak in Paris? They speak French. Where do all the roads in the étoile or the star point? They point towards the arch. What is the name of the arch? It is Arc de Triomphe. C is how old is the Notre Dame Cathedral? And in the text it was already written, you can figure it out, you can write down. D is very easy. How did people use the river Seine in old days? You can tell those how this river was being used. I have discussed it in the video as well. How do people use the river nowadays, these days? How do people use it? It is also very clear in the video as well as from the book. You can find out these two answers yourself. Then F is where can you see a painting called The Lace Maker, and who painted it? This information is also in the paragraph, and today on page number 14, today we have studied it, so try to find out yourself. G is what do these French words mean? Very easy. On the same page 14, all the meanings are given to you. So there is not a single point that's a problem for any one of you. But even then, if you are having any kind of problem, feel free to contact your associate teacher, or you can ask me by dropping a voice message. Okay, so till that time, here we end up. Have a great day, and I'll say goodbye. Allah Hafiz till next video lesson. Allah Hafiz.